Well, good morning and happy Friday. So today, we're going to go over some trades, some trades that I took, and what I'm looking at in the market. And currently, we're looking at the SPY. In pre-market, I I shorted this. I see all those red lines up there. See those red lines? The reason I did it and shorted it is because I was looking at this trend line right here, right? That was touched twice. So the third time was a breakthrough, which is pretty typical, but I thought we were going to get a little bit more downside before the end of the year. You know, we're in mid-August, September, October, so we only have a third of the year left, basically, a little bit more than a third of the year left. So my bias was short because I saw, these two gaps fill right here and right here. And then look what happened when this gap filled. This gap filled and immediately rejected. So I assumed that the same thing was going to happen here, and boy, was I wrong. Instead, it just ended up shooting up. It ended up making a break of that trend line, and then it just kept running. So look at this. Look at this rally going on right here. So, I expect that we're going to retest this line before we continue going up, but maybe not. Election year, artificial market, there's a very good chance they're just going to send this thing to the moon. And, now that they picked their candidate and they're happy that Biden's gone, there's no reason for the market to drop. They get Kamala in, right? So, and if you look at this drop, it correlates with that time frame as well. So, yeah, so the SPY I got smoked on. I was down pre-market, over a quarter of the way to my stop loss just from this one play. But thank God for Tesla, my Esla. So Tesla just came up and retested on the max day chart, the 365. It's good to note that we do have the 30-day still above, right? So we could get a rejection. But once again, election year, a lot of stuff breaks the rules. So we do have a gap to fill right here. We could come up and see that fill. Like Tesla just had it had some legs yesterday. The motor was running. This thing was flying. So I got into Tesla pre-market right here. I saw this, right? You see that move pre-market right here? Wow, this is what I saw. So I saw a 202 to 204 2-point move pre-market, and then we held. And then we held. So, open happens, and then we just get a blast off over this line. And if you notice, 365 flat, 30-day relatively flat, but coming in to close in on the 30 days closing in on the 365, and then we just get a rocket. Now, once again, I sold way too soon. I should have been up. I had 30 shares in this thing. That should have been a nice $300 play. When you just see this and it's green, 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 you're waiting for the red candle and then the first green candle to add. And I didn't do that. I just ended up getting out because I was already down on SPY. And that's one of my biggest struggles, is when I already take a loss not to maximize my other plays. This happens to me a lot. And then if you look, it consolidates. Look at that. We add on the first break of that red. And then that's the end of the story. Look at that thing go. Amazing. That was 204 to 214. If you got call options on that, holy wow. Those things must have exploded. Doubt. I did also short. And the reason I did, usually I wait for a green candle's low to break, right? So like the first green candle low to break would have been like right here. But this is also pretty late in the morning when that happens, right? Because this is the candle right here, breaks the low of those greens right there. And, you know, that's almost at 10:30, 11 o'clock. So I'm looking for something a little bit sooner. But I did short this nonetheless. And why did I short it? Well, let's take a look at this. Look at this top right here. You see that? Boom, right here. So I saw that we ran up and we broke the top of that, right? So this red candle came up right over here. See that? And broke the top. As soon as we saw the top break on that, I was like, we're overextended. We just blasted by this point. We're going to have to retest that high. So as soon as I saw this blast off up here, and it broke that previous high, right there, I actually shorted right at the top. I shorted this big green candle twice. I did 20 and 40 shares. So I shorted that twice, and what do you know? We got a nice little, almost a point pullback. It was a big pullback. This thing was 42 to 11, so that was to 11 to 12:11. So that was a point and a half. And if you waited for the second candle, well, no, that was a point and a half. So that was a nice little pullback play I had. That's it. Nice little day.